Hey everyone and welcome to another Black Ops 4 video. Today we're talking about some exciting changes which are going to be coming to the game very soon. Now, Treyarch have recently teased about some changes that are going to be coming to the Blackout map, and there's been lots of hype around that, so we're going to talk about that today. Let me guys know your thoughts in the comment section, what you guys think, and if there's anything I haven't thought of or you've got any ideas, then let me know down below. But anyway, let's jump right into it. So what's happened is that the other day there has been some changes that had come to the game when it'd been updated, and the other day people had started noticing them. So it started off with people noticing that there were these stakes around the map, what you call surveying stakes. It was like little wooden posts around the map with like a yellow piece of cloth on them. You know, people weren't really sure what that meant, what that was about, and it looked like it was just in a certain area, and then the more people explored, the more that were found. And I'll talk about that more in a minute and what the significance of that could be. But after that, there's some really cool other changes that were found on the map, and I think this is where it gets really interesting. So basically, first of all, there was this in the southeast area, desert in the bottom right hand corner of the map. It's quite a sort of barren wasteland area. There's not too much there, so it's quite a boring area of the map on Blackout. But people found this red sign, and at first it just looks like a sign, perhaps a stop sign, something like that, to do with the road. If you look at it carefully, it's got a very unique swirl pattern on it, which, if you compare it with the lollipop sign found in the zombies map Buried back in Black Ops 2, it's exactly the same. So very likely that that is a hint to that kind of setting, possibly from Buried, but I'll talk about that more in a second. So yeah, this could indicate that perhaps Buried is coming, and it's kind of linked into the next thing which I'm going to talk about in just a second, but it could mean other stuff. So the other thing that was found was a big sort of circle on the floor, on the desert floor. At first people said like, oh, okay, it looks like an opening to a bunker, so you could, you know, go down underground and find a big bunker, or could relate to something in Buried, you know, because the Buried map is located under the ground. So people think it related to that, and when they saw the lollipop sign, yep, okay, it's Buried kind of. But as we've looked at it more closely, I think what a lot of people are thinking, and certainly what I agree with as well, is that it looks quite like a clock, this big circle. So you can't see it because it's covered by rocks, but the corner of it, you can see it's got like the little etchings that the side of a clock has to show you how many minutes it is. Big clock, what could that represent? So to me, this could only be a few things. First of all, big clock, if you go to the map Outlaw, which is in Black Ops 3, it was a remake of Standoff, which was from Black Ops 2. That was quite an olden western type map, and it had this clock tower with a really big clock on it, clock face, and it looks very similar to the one found in the Blackout map. So I think that's quite likely, and possibly there's a link to that. If not, it could also be the clock on the clock tower in Der Eisendrache and Zombies, but through, you know, Buried or Der Eisendrache. Or if not, then it seems like this map Outlaw could be coming. I think the most likely thing is that it's probably going to be Outlaw. The reason for that is because Outlaw, it's this old western theme map, like I said, and it's got a desert vibe to it as well. It could just fit in quite well, especially because we've got that lollipop sign. You know, you could think, okay, it's some old western civilization where, you know, you've got a little village or town with like a clock tower, candy shop, lots of little shops, kind of like Buried but in multiplayer. So I definitely think Outlaw is a very solid possibility of what's going to come, and that'd be quite a good fit, I think, to the map, because it's something quite unique and different. It's not my favourite map, but it would go quite well and fill in what's there quite well, because there's not really much there at the moment, so I think that'd be a cool thing, and yeah, that'd be cool. So I think those two clues, especially because they're so close together on the map, really link into each other, so I definitely think that could work. Throwing this out there, but a totally different possibility could be that they've just reused the asset that you happen to use in Buried, and they want to use it for something else, and so it might just be a coincidence, so we don't know. But there's a very strong possibility that we're going to see some form of Buried or Outlaw or something like that in the desert area of Blackout. Now, I said I'd come back to the surveying stakes, and I'll talk about that in just a second. We then, a few days later, got another teaser. So Treyarch released a video, and I'll show you the picture that was in the video. It was just an image that was animated to have lots of little red crosses and circles and stuff like that. I'll show you it. But the important part, I think anyway, is the big X in the bottom right hand corner, which is where the two clues were found in the desert. Just next to that, there's also a little clock sign. So I think those two are quite linked. Again, that ties into the fact that we could be seeing either something like Buried or Outlaw coming back in the game, which is all cool, and I'll be very happy with that. The other thing as well is that there's loads of little X's, and it's a bit wishy-washy because some of the red X's represent where the surveying stakes are and some of them don't, so it's a bit wishy-washy. But I think the red X's, if they're not decoys, it's probably something to do with the surveying stakes. Surveying stakes, I reckon it's something to do with where building is going to be happening, or some changes are going to be happening to the map. Might be little things, might be big things, I'm not sure. I don't know if either they're decoys, like I say, or whether it represents lots of little changes or something small that's being added throughout the map. That could be what it is, something small, I don't know. But surveying stakes indicate that building work is going to go on, So in some form the map should be changing where those little red X's are, but we're not sure. But I think what's really interesting is that in the top left hand corner of that new map image that Treyarch released, there's a black ring, and it's kind of just, it's in the sea, and it's just top left hand corner, just above the hijacked map, the big boat they added recently to the game. I think it's quite interesting because if you think about the kind of maps that are located near water that could come back, and some really cool maps, obviously people suggested different ones, like, you know, the Carrier from Black Ops 2, but I think a cool one would be Cove from Black Ops 2. Is that kind of island where you had that kind of crashed ship. Quite a nice map, not the best, but it was quite good. I quite liked it. But what I think is quite interesting, if you think about it, is that Cove, when you're on the map, they add a little Easter egg where you could actually see the hijacked ship in Black Ops 2 from the island. Now, obviously, when we originally played Hijacked, before the DLC came out, you couldn't see Cove, so it's kind of like an Easter egg where they've just added it to the Cove map, so it kind of links in, and they're saying, oh, this hijacked boat could be near the Cove Island. So if they've got that black ring near the hijacked ship on this map blueprint, I reckon there's a very high chance something's going to be coming there, because it seems different. It's not like a, it seems sort of more focus your attention. It's a different colour, it attracts the eye. So I definitely think something's coming to near that area, and like I say, maybe it's nothing, but I reckon there is at least a moderate chance that something could come in there, such as Cove. Like I say, the reason why that would work so well is because if you go onto Cove, you can actually see the hijacked boat on the edge of the map. So it's kind of like Treyarch could definitely link those two maps, and they like them being together, so I could definitely see that coming. And it'd be awesome to have like an island in the middle of the sea, kind of like Nuketown but further up, you know. So definitely that would be very good, and I'd really enjoy it if that came to the map. So it could be something else. Let me guys know your thoughts on that. But yes, and like I said, I think the surveying stakes could be decoys, but I think they represent small changes coming. But yeah, we don't know what's coming yet, we don't know when it's coming or how much is coming. My thoughts would be that it's going to be coming the same time as the new operation comes, which is on February 19th, so just a bit under a week left, so definitely that's very interesting. I imagine something would come around then. Now, we could see it where, bam, everything comes at once, and, you know, maybe you have one change, maybe you have several changes to the map, I don't know. It looks like there's a lot of changes coming, finally. But we could see it where it's like a progressive system, so like, oh, one day something's added, for example, Cove could be added, then the next day the Outlaw map or Buried or whatever in the bottom deserty area of the map, that could be added, and then you have all the little changes with the surveying stakes, what do they represent? So I think slowly but surely you could see it where things progress. So we don't know. Knowing Treyarch, I imagine they'll just, bam, add it all in one go. But yeah, I'm very interested to see what will be coming to the map. Let me guys know your thoughts on this, and if you've got any interesting ideas, am I talking absolute nonsense? Do you agree? Let me guys know your thoughts, like I say. And if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like, and to subscribe as well. Thank you very much, everyone that has already, and I'll see you all on the next video.